What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have massive unboxing number 24 for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, as today we have another retro massive unboxing for you guys. I am super excited to get into today's video, and I hope you guys are as well. Without any further delay, let's dive into it, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to massive unboxing number 24 for you guys, the second retro massive unboxing thus far. I really hope you guys are excited for today's massive unboxing, as man, we have a good one stored today. So many retro airplanes. I believe we have about 10 or 11, and I'm super excited to dive into these, and I really hope you guys are as well. So our first box here comes from Waffle Collectibles. I don't know what the best way to open it will be, but I guess that will have to do, because these are kind of weird boxes, as you guys may know. But man, we have some really good models in here, and I am super excited for this. Here we go, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, here's our first model of the day. This is going to be the Dragon Wings 1:400 scale FedEx Express Airbus A310-200 freighter. This is going to be a really helpful asset for the Retro Tulsa project, as these came in several times. I was actually fortunate enough to get to see one of these aircraft, and this is a really cool one to say the least. I am very excited for this aircraft, and I hope you guys are as well. Our second retro aircraft today is going to be the GeminiJets 1:400 scale United Airlines Boeing 727-200 in the Battleship Gray livery. This is going to be a really helpful model for the Retro Tulsa project, as these came for various years, and I'm super excited, and this livery is really nice. I really hope you guys are excited for this model as well. This is going to be a really good one, and man, just take a look at that 727. We're building this 727 fleet really quick, as here comes another one from JetX. This is going to be the Braniff International Boeing 727-200 in the flying colors blue livery. Really excited for this aircraft, and this is a very unique one to say the least. Limited edition with the 1500 units on there, and that is a really neat box to say the least. I don't think I've seen one that neat thus far. However, another very neat one we have right here is the Herpa 1:400 scale TWA Boeing 727-100, and I'm forgetting what livery they exactly called this, but you guys know which one this is. This was the second to last livery, and man, I am super excited for all of these. We have a really good assortment of aircraft here, everybody, and I'm really excited to dive into these. So without any further delay, let's get this kicked off, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, let's get things kicked off with the TWA Boeing 727-100 from Herpa in the 1:400 scale. Really excited for this aircraft, and man, this is going to be a really good one. So, like I did in the previous unboxing, I want to be telling you guys where all these aircraft flew for the Retro Tulsa project, because it is quite applicable to say the least. And I really want to get you guys caught up to speed on where all these aircraft flew. So, TWA, like I said, through the 60s into the early 2000s, flew predominantly to the St. Louis region, but they also flew to New York John F. Kennedy in the 80s, and that is exactly what this aircraft is going to do. TWA flew the 727-200, 100, MD-80, and also some DC-9s in Tulsa in this time frame from the 80s and 90s. And I got a really good deal on this aircraft, so I'm really excited for it, and it's going to be really good. So you got Herpa miniature models right here. You got the Herpa trademark, TWA Transworld Airlines Boeing 727-100, and here's the aircraft right here. Really nice picture right there in the 1:400 scale. Again, I'm really excited to finally have this aircraft, and it's going to be quite helpful to say the least. Got a really good deal on it. I think it was around the $50 mark. I'm really excited to have it. So this is an American Airlines trademark. Got the Boeing on there and all those fun items. Man, I'm super excited for this aircraft, and this is going to be a really good one. So without any further delay, let's take a look at this, everybody. And man, that is a really cool plane to get us started today. Really nice, and also I'm a little under the weather, so if I sound horrible, I am so sorry. But this is what we do around here. We grind, we pursue, we get retro planes, we get modern planes, futuristic planes, you name it. And man, I am so excited for this TWA 727-100. That is a really nice effort from Herpa. Take a look at that, everybody. Let's dive into this thing. And here we go, everybody, with the Transworld Airlines Boeing 727-100 in this really cool livery. Again, I'm sorry I don't know what the name is. I'll be sure to pop it up on the screen, but man, this screams retro to me. If this isn't retro, I don't know what is. This is absolutely insane. And man, I'm just looking at this, and I'm just really, my brain's just cranking it back right now. I'm thinking of New York John F. Kennedy. I'm thinking of St. Louis. I'm thinking of gates 51 and 53 at Tulsa, because that's where TWA parked. And man, this is a really cool plane, and Herpa, for real, did a really good job on this. So let's not waste any further time, and dive into this really neat model. Alrighty, everybody, so let's dive into this thing. So you got the cockpit windows and the visor right here that we've been talking about for several months now, which is really nice. Then you got the red cheat line which starts right here, and I think this might be the registration. Not completely sure, can't see it, but that looks really nice. And nose landing gear. Now, what I will say about this aircraft is it's not the most detailed in the world, but most certainly it's just nice and simple, and I really like that from Herpa right here. Here's the L1 boarding door and the Transworld titles right here, and then of course you got all your passenger windows right here, so a little bit of first class, maybe a touch of economy plus or whatever they called it on here. Then of course all the economy. Then you have the emergency exit exits right here, which are really nicely detailed in this aircraft. Again, nice and simple. You also have the emergency exit pad, which is really helpful, and your flaps, slats, and speed brakes. Again, I really like the really kind of aluminum filled wings, if you will, and they look really nice. They're in the main landing gears as well. They're pretty nice, and again, very simple, and if you can make it simple but good, I most certainly will take that any day of the week. Here's the aft part of the aircraft, and of course you got your really awesome T-tail design that you'll see with the DC-9s and Boeing 727s. Registration of this aircraft November 839 Tango Whiskey. And then of course you got all three engines right there, the TWA tail right there, and the horizontal stabilizers, and man, this is so cool. This is only like my third or fourth 727, and I believe this is my very first 727-100. Not going to be the only one of the video though, which is so cool, and man, we're just going to be 727 heaven today, so get ready for it. The right side of the aircraft also really nice. You got the cockpit windows, trans world titles right here, baggage door, and then the L or R1 door is in a really weird place on this aircraft, but I think it looks really cool. It's far back there on the right, which is really cool. Here's the rest of the fuselage as well, another baggage door hanging out right there, and man, this is so exciting. So, and you also got the APU as well, I should mention. Top of the aircraft looks really good. You got a little beacon there in the top middle right there, and then on the bottom you got your Herpa trademark, no stand hole, which is a little unfortunate, and then of course you got your exit right here as well. Really nice. Very excited to have this fantastic aircraft from Herpa Wings. Like I said, this is going to be making the appearance for the St. Louis service predominantly, but you're also going to be seeing this on the New York John F. Kennedy service in the mid-80s. This is going to be a very helpful aircraft and most certainly expected in many retro TVL updates. This is going to be an absolute workhorse, and I'm so glad to have this. Fantastic job by Herpa, and another fantastic model for the collection, excuse me. Alrighty everybody, next in line we have the FedEx Express Airbus A310 200 freighter right here by Dragon Wings. So this is going to be a very helpful aircraft as we crank it up to the 2000s and 2010s right here. They flew these Tulsa quite a bit, and I did get to see one in real life, and I think I only got this for like $30. So while this may not be the best quality model out there, I think it will still be very helpful, especially since this is a really neat cargo plane. And I'm very excited to have this. So let's dive into all the details. And of course these came in from Memphis predominantly, but you also find them for Fort Alliance Airport and a couple others on varying years. So really excited to get the features of this aircraft, and let's dive into all the applicable details, everybody. So you got the FedEx Express in the top right. Here's the actual aircraft itself, Airbus A310 200 freighter, 1 to 4 scale Premier collection, and during the time I would say it's Premier, but nowadays I don't know. There's also a special version sticker on this one, so I'm not exactly sure what that implies for this aircraft, but nevertheless I'm really excited to see you got all your Dragon Wings. This is a 2004 release, which means that it's quite old to say the least, but I'm really excited for this aircraft. I hope you guys are too, and this is going to be very interesting to see how Dragon Wings did on this one. I do have quite a few Dragon Wings, but it's going to be very interesting to see how they did on this FedEx. So let's take a look here, everybody. So here's the aircraft. You do have a stand in there, which I'll probably leave in just to make it a little bit simpler. And here we go with the actual aircraft itself. Alrighty, and yeah, this looks really nice. Honestly, this looks really good. It reminds me a lot of the Aero Classic A300 I got last year. Let's take a look at this. Alrighty everybody, next in line right here we have the Federal Express Airbus A310 200. So another really cool plane and another really exciting one for my collection. This is my very first Airbus A310, and what I wanted to do it on with the FedEx Express. I really like this aircraft. Again, this flew in from Memphis and Indianapolis a little bit too, I believe, and also some of the other hubs for Alliance and all that fun stuff. And man, this is a really cool aircraft, and I'm super excited to dive into all the details with this aircraft. Really excited to have this. So without any further delay, let's dive into this. Alrighty everybody, so here's the cockpit windows in the nose shape. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know too much about the A300 nose, but that does seem a little bit too pointy, but nevertheless, it's still looking pretty good right there. The world on time, you got some sort of slogan right there, or something along those lines, an emblem of sorts. L1 door, and then nose landing gear, and also the registration right there, that looks really good. Then you got the Federal Express billboard titles, really cool with the old font right here. They did change it up just slightly over the years, and it does look really nice on this aircraft. So good job right there for Dragon Wings to represent that as well. You got the FedEx engines, these look really nice too. Good job on the detail on those. Then of course you got the wings. These are really simple. You don't even have the wing tips like the A300 has on this aircraft, so that's pretty interesting. And there's your flaps, slats, and speed brakes. Again, very basic detail. There is not too much to assess with this aircraft. There is a black mark right there that looks pretty good. Then you have the registration November 452 Foxtrot Echo. I'm forgetting the one that I saw in Tulsa in 2015, but nevertheless it was quite nice. And here's the tail of the aircraft. This looks really good with all the applicable details right there. And that looks really nice. On the right side of the aircraft, of course, you have the luggage door and everything right there. Well, in this case, cargo door, I guess you should say. And then all those nice details here on the right side. And then yeah, this aircraft looks really good from top to bottom. This is really good. While simple, looks really good. You also got those doors on the right there as well. Top of the aircraft looks quite nice right there, and then the bottom of the aircraft also looks really good. You got your stand hole and a couple of grooves and cutouts, and of course this does come with retractable landing gear, so you can put it in the gear up position. I think that was quite cool for Dragon Wings, very innovative for the time, but nevertheless, this looks really good. Fantastic looking aircraft right here from Dragon Wings. They did a really good job on this one. This will be a very helpful asset, especially for that Memphis route. Really excited to have this, and like I said, this flew in this livery at least from the mid-2000s all the way up until they got retired like 2015 or so. It may have been a little bit past then as well, but nevertheless, excuse me, A310s had a big presence, and I'm really excited to finally get to see this aircraft in the collection. Looking really good, and let's paint it into our next aircraft. Next in line right here, everybody, we have the Braniff International Boeing 727-200 in the Flying Colors Blue livery. We're really excited to have this aircraft. Again, this is going to be really helpful for Braniff's peak at Tulsa, and man, this is a really exciting aircraft to have. And first and foremost, this is one of the coolest boxes I think I've ever seen. This is a JetX box, and they did a really good job making this box, and I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. You have the JetX copyright in top right, limited edition 1,500 units, which is really cool to think that there was only 1,500 of these made. Braniff International Boeing 727-200. You have the Tell the Braniff 727 right here, and the photo by M. Beaner. So thank you so much for letting JetX use that, and that is really nice right there. And I guess that was actually the back of the box, but they're about the same. Here's the right side right there, distributed exclusively by JetX. Millennium series, which is really cool. Item number is JX030, so this is probably one of the first aircraft that they did. Look at that BI right there, it's really cool. This is a 2001 release from JetX, and man, I'm really excited to have this. I think this is a really cool plane in general, and man, this is really nice to get to see. So JetX, really cool box. My American MD-80s weren't even close to that, so I'm really excited to get this JetX plane. This is going to be quite nice. So let's see if we can pop the top on this guy and see what this thing is all about. It was actually put in like this, so here we go. And yeah, that is a really neat looking plane. This is looking good so far. Oh man, I love the blue. That is one of the coolest colors on a plane I have ever seen in my entire life. Take a look at this, everybody. Man. Alrighty, everybody, next in line we have the Braniff International Boeing 727-200 in the Flying Colors Blue livery. And man, first and foremost, JetX, you guys did a really good job. Where did you guys go? Like, bro, we could use you guys. So really nice to get to see this aircraft right here, though. And for 2001, this is awesome. I'm looking at this in 2022, and I'm like, man, this is very applicable in reference to the design. And man, that is just very nice. Therefore, let's hop into this aircraft and see what it is all about. Alrighty, everybody, so let's get started with this aircraft. So you got the cockpit windows, and then here's where the blue starts. So you have more of like a mid-tone, like sea blue, if that makes sense, down here on the bottom. And then you have more like a richer blue here in the middle, and I think the contrast is very nice. So good job there by JetX. Your L1 boarding door, and then you have the Braniff International billboard titles, and these look really cool in this aircraft. We did unbox the Flying Colors Red in the previous one by GeminiJets, and this really represents that well as well. So this is really nice for JetX's take on it. And I'm glad I'm getting various companies here, and this will not be the only Braniff 727 from JetX in this video teaser right there. Here's where you'd have, I don't know if Braniff was all economy or not, so I'm not going to say much more than you have some sort of seats right there inside the aircraft, which are quite nice. And then of course you have the emergency exits right there, and then there's your emergency exit escape patch, which is really nice. And then the wing looks really nice from the flaps, slats, and speed brakes. Good job by JetX for representing that. Then you have the bottom right here as well, and that looks really good too. And I do believe that it came with retractable landing gear, so you can do that if you'd like to. The registration on this aircraft is November 410 Bravo November, which is really nice. And then of course you have the flying colors with the BI right there and the mid-tone blue fading off of that. That is so cool, and I think that turned out really well. You got all three of your engines, of course, then the horizontal stabilizers and the APU detail too. On the right side of the aircraft, you have all your other applicable detail, including the baggage doors, which is quite helpful. And man, this is just a really nice looking aircraft. JetX absolutely killed this one. Top of the aircraft looks quite nice. You can see the emergency exit escape hatch, excuse me. Really interesting though, on this side, as you guys can see, there's a little marker right there, like a little red. Let me see if I can get my pencil up to that. Don't know why that's over here, but not over here. So if any of you retro enthusiasts know why that is, please let me know, and I would be very happy to feature that in the next video, and would really help me out. Another thing that's really interesting about this aircraft is this right here, 0957. What does 0957 mean? My best guess is this is actually the actual unit made by JetX, which this is a really cool idea if they chose to do that. Now, if anybody knows for sure, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. But, I mean, it's a 4-digit number, 957. That would make sense that if this was the 957th one produced. But, man, that is so cool. You also got your escape right here as well, and this really cool in-groove right here as well. This is a really nice model, man. This is an outstanding effort from JetX. Really pleased with this model, and quite frankly, this is one of the best 727s I've seen thus far. Although I don't know if that's going to hold up for much longer. Here we go, boys. Coming into the frame as we speak, we have the GeminiJets 1-400 scale United Airlines Boeing 727-200 in the Battleship Gray livery. hot mess right here, boys. We're really excited for this aircraft, and man, this one looks so good. I'm just this is awesome, man. I'm so excited for this. Let's crank it into this. You got the United right here in the actual aircraft itself with the blue background. I'm getting a lot more of these cinematic boxes, which is pretty cool, and maybe I'll do a box collection sometime. So let me know if you guys like to see that. Boeing 727-200 diecast 1-to-400 scale model made for collectors by collectors, GeminiJets. Really cool to get to see that Boeing trademark 707, 717, 727, 737, 747, 757, 767, 777. That was on purpose to see how fast I could say it. But all our trademarks of the Boeing company, you guys know that. And then, of course, taking a look at the box. That is unique right there with the actual aircraft on the bottom left. That's really cool. And then you got scale 1-to-400 with the lowercase s, which is really cool, as you can see right here. So, really cool box. This was one of Gemini's earlier releases. The registration on this guy's November 7291 uniform. And here's the back of the box in this aircraft. This is actually a 2000 release, which is really cool. And one thing that just came to mind, I'm sorry for interrupting, but this is so funny. So, I've watched JJ Skippy's June 8th, 2000 retro Sioux Falls Airport update video so many times at this point. I really like the video if you guys can't tell. And one thing that I noted is June 8th of 2000 was the day that that update took place. But it's hilarious because this darn model came out in 2000 as well. So it's literally a June 8th of 2000 airport update. That's crazy to think about. But man, that is so awesome and very applicable in reference to the design. So really nice effort right there. And let's crank it into this. Here's the pamphlet right here. You got all your applicable information and the actual aircraft itself. That is a hot mess. I'm not waiting any longer to get this out. We're cranking this out of here right now, boys. And come on, there we go. That's very nice. If I can get the darn box open. What has been with these plastic cradles today? I guess all these must have been like not opened in a long time, therefore it's really hard to get these out of the box. Come on, you gotta be joking. Let's go. Come on, there we go. And boys, the boys have came up. That is very applicable right there. Take a look at that. Wowzers. Let's crank it back, everybody, with the GeminiJets 1-to-400 scale United Airlines Boeing 727-200 in the battleship gray livery. This is a hot mess. There is no other way to put it. This is one of the best models I have in my collection by far, and man, wow, I am very impressed. I was so jealous of seeing that in JJ's on his actual Sioux Falls airport update video, the intro of that. That made me so jealous, and man, this is flat out amazing to say the least. This is really nice right here. So let's take it into the model, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, here we go with the United Boeing 727-200 in the battleship gray livery. Man, this is absolutely awesome. Got the cockpit windows right here and worldwide services. Then, of course, the battleship gray livery. So you have the mid-tone gray right here, the red sheet line in the navy underbelly. Man, that's awesome. L1 boarding door in the nose landing gear, also looking really nice on this aircraft. And here are your billboard titles. Like I said, these look very clean in reference to the design, and I really like the font they chose to use right there. That's really nice. You're gonna have your first class area right here, and then of course maybe just I don't think there's any business on 727, so it should just go into economy. But nevertheless, really nice to get to see that right there. It's absolutely awesome. Here's your emergency exits right here. These also look really good. Then you got the top where you got the pad right there as well, which is quite helpful. And then of course you got the wing with the flap slats and speed brakes. Again, this was a 2000 model, guys. This is really good, especially the color. This is really nice. You got your main landing gear right there, and then like I said, the registration November 7291 uniform. And then here is the the tulip tail with the navy background for battleship gray. That is such a contrast right there, and man, that looks quite applicable to say the least. Really nice effort right there. That's really nice. On the right side of the aircraft, you do have your baggage door. I think it's right here. I can barely see it on the screen, but I think it's right there. And then of course on the back side, you have it right here as well. Man, this aircraft is so pretty to say the least. Top of the aircraft's really simple. You have one beacon right there, which is really nice. And the bottom of the aircraft's also really good. You got the patch right there to get out, and then of course all your nice detail in a white GeminiJets logo. That's really nice. What a stunning aircraft right here, guys. Maybe my favorite of the whole entire video. There's another 727 that I do think will beat this aircraft, but man, this is a really close second. Really glad to have this model, and you most certainly will be finding this. Sorry I forgot to mention this. This flew to Tulsa from mainly the Denver International Airport, but I think there was also a little bit of flights here for Chicago as well. That was predominantly a 737-200 service, but I think the 727, the 100 and the 200 variant also got in on that service. But man, I'm so glad to have this. This is going to be a cornerstone for that Denver route, and that's going to be really exciting. I'll try to send it to JJ Sioux Falls airport update on ABC method if he wants to do that. Man, that is really cool, and I'm really glad to get to see that in reference to the design. Really nice effort right there, and I'm very glad to have this model. One of my new favorites, and a great job by GeminiJets. I like that effort. Alrighty, everybody, and here's another box from Waffle Collectibles. I really like Waffle Collectibles as restocks. They do a really good job. I'm really excited to have this. So let's see what we got going in here, everybody. This is going to be cool. Sorry about that, everybody. My camera died, but I'm really excited for these. I think I know what the third one is now that I'm thinking about it, but nevertheless, I'm so excited for these. And let's crank it in here, boys. Really excited to see this, and there is the newspaper. Alrighty everybody, let's get it started with a small aircraft right here. So, a really small one, but I'm very excited for this. We have the JetX 1-400 scale Continental Airlines Douglas DC-910. This will be my first DC-910 for the collection. I'm really excited to have this one. That was a very predominant aircraft at Tulsa International Airport, and I'm really excited for that, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in detail here in just a moment. Our next aircraft's kind of hard to see because this was actually a part of a two set, and I only bought one aircraft, therefore I only got the plastic cradle, and that aircraft's going to be the JetX, also 1-400 scale, and I'm sorry it's going to be hard to see, but we have the United Airlines Boeing 727-100 in this Saul Bass livery. Another very helpful aircraft, and this will be really nice for the Denver-Chicago services out of Tulsa in the 80s, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail here in just a moment. And our final aircraft is another JetX Boeing 727, because this is just going to be the 727 unboxing today, but guess what, boys? There it is, the Braniff International Boeing 727-100 in the green livery for flying colors. We're really excited for all of these, and let's not waste any further time. I think we'll work it backwards this time around. I think we'll do Braniff first, then United, and then Continental. So let's crank it into this, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go with the JetX 1-400 scale Braniff International Boeing 727-100 in the green livery for flying colors. Really excited to have this aircraft. This is another fantastic model, I'm sure, from JetX, and man, I'm really excited. So now we have a red flying colors, a blue flying colors, and this is going to round up my flying colors unless I find another really good deal on one or something. The green livery on the 727-100, which came to us quite a bit, and these flew to cities like Washington Dulles, Dallas Fort Worth, Kansas City, St. Louis, I think also let's see here, Houston to Continental, Shreveport, Louisiana, out of all places. So Braniff had a really fun time right there. Now I'm really excited to get that going. This is also from my good friend GeminiJets 1975. He would appreciate that Texas love. So let's get it cranking, boys. JetX, or you got the JetX logo right here, limited edition, 1,500 units on this aircraft, and the bottom of the aircraft will be very depictive in reference to see if that is actually the 1,500 unit number. We'll have to see. Braniff International Boeing 727-100 this time around. This is our second 200 of the video, and I think at least of 3, but we'll see. Another 2001 release in a very similar box. You have the really cool yellow kind of shade right there. I'm sure these were all in the same release, but I'm not particularly sure on that. So if anybody knows, feel free to let me know. But this is a really exciting aircraft, and man, I'm really excited to crank it into this one. So without any further delay, let's get into another Boeing 727, boys. And like I said, Braniff International is going to be looking quite clean in reference to the design. Alrighty, here we go, boys, and man, that green turned out really nice in real life, man. That is very nice. Take a look at this. This is very applicable. And here we have the JetX 1-400 scale Braniff International Boeing 727-100 in the flying colors green livery. Another super nice aircraft right here. Really excited to have this one, and another Boeing 727-100 for the fleet. Let's dive into this aircraft. Beginning up here at the front, you got the cockpit windows in the nose cone, of course. This looks really cool. And then you have this sort of a yellowish tan hybrid color. I don't know what you want to call that, but that's looking quite nice right there. The L1 boarding door, then the nose landing gear, and also the green shade, which looks super nice, man. I'm really glad I chose to go with this combination. This is really cool. You got the Braniff International billboard titles, and also the cutout cargo door, which is really cool in this aircraft. Then you got a little bit of first class, maybe. I'm not completely sure on that. And all the economy, that looks really nice right there. Then you got your emergency exits. Those also look really good. And your emergency exit escape hatch, and we'll take a look at the other wing, and it does have that similar detail, but I'll show you guys here more in a minute. Here's the flaps and slats and all those fun details right there. In the main landing gear, you also got a cover door in that, which I think looks quite nice right there. So pretty interesting stuff, to say the least. Then of course you got the engines right here, which look really nice, and also on this one you have Boeing 727, since this was the original variant that has the Boeing 727 titles on it. I think it looks really nice. You got flying colors right there, and there's your BI for Braniff International with a little bit of that yellow color. Again, I'm not exactly sure what to call it, but it looks really nice. Your horizontal stabilizers, and man, this is a really neat aircraft. On the right, you have the R1 door placed in the same position, which is quite interesting, and man, this is just a really neat model, to say the least. Top of the aircraft looks really good on this one, and also, like I said, the detail right here is what I was referencing, is also on this Boeing 727, but this time for JetX, so not completely sure on that, but that's pretty interesting. Then on the bottom, the number is, ironically, out of all numbers, 1, 2, 3. That is really freaking cool, as you guys can see. You got the indent right there as well in the patch right there, so that is really cool, and I think these makes these models even more collectible. That is so cool to think about. I wish at least Gemini would put these on the boxes or something, but really cool for JetX for thinking of the idea of putting it under the fuselage. That is really cool. Another fantastic looking plane from JetX right here. Really like what JetX has going, and boys, we are not quite done with the 727-100 from JetX. Next in line, everybody, we have the United Airlines Boeing 727-100 in the Sawbass livery by JetX. Really excited to have this aircraft, and this one's going to be really nice. So like I was referencing earlier, United Airlines flew this Boeing 727-100 to their Chicago and Denver hubs, and man, this aircraft was really nice in reference to the design. I'm really excited to see this one, and let's take a look at it. There is no box to see, but pretty much what you would see is this was a two-set between the 100 and the 200, and it was a big full box, a really cool one, and I'll try to get a picture on that of the screen if I'm able to find one online. I wish I would have been able to get the 200, but I did get the Battleship Gray, and I was like, it didn't fly there too much. I mean, the only, looks like some sort of tire already fell off, so that's probably Aero Classic. Let me take a look at that real quick. That's pretty funny. That must have came off another model in my collection because I could not find where that came off of, so I'm not completely sure, but nevertheless, what I was referencing here was you have the 100 and the 200 in the Sawbass livery, and pretty much it made a really cool two-set. Now, I really wanted to get to the 200, but like what I was getting to, it unfortunately only flew like one time a day max, and I really need a 737-200 for United, so that's why I decided to hold off. I'm still looking for that. I know Aero Classics recently did one, and I was a complete idiot and did not get it, so I need to go get that. But nevertheless, we'll make the 100 work for now, so there's not too much to assess outside of the previous items that we got. Like I was talking about, I put them off to the side, but you get a stand, and also this is a really cool manual for showing how to do the retractable landing gear and everything, which I think is really helpful for people that are uneducated on how to do this. This is also a 2000 model, it looks like, from that copyright, so this is going to be really exciting, and I'm really excited for this, unless they didn't change the copyright date. But man, this is going to be a really good model and another fantastic Retro United ad for the collection. This is also, I think, my first Sawbass aircraft, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be real. No, excuse me, I got that 737-300. So here we go with the 727-100, and man, what a facility. And there's where the tire's from. It came off the front. So let me put that back on, and we'll be good to go. Excuse me, everybody, that is incorrect. That tire did not come off of there. It just is really weirdly put on there because I can barely see it. But nevertheless, let's put it back up there in the front. And next in line right here, everybody, we have the JetX 1-4 unscale United Airlines Boeing 727-100 in the Sawbass livery. Super excited to have this aircraft. JetX with another banger of an effort right here. They did a really nice job, and I'm really excited to take a look at another Boeing 727-100, the third of the video. And man, these 727s just don't stop. They continue to keep rolling. So let's get into this one. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go with the cockpit windows right here. Then, of course, you have the orange, the red, and then a darker red, and then the blue. A really iconic livery right here, and it looks really nice. Then you have the nose landing gear, and again, just a nice, simple model right here from JetX, and that really cranks it back and tells you what the times are all about. Just nice and simple, and you love to see that effort right there. Like I said, you have the L1 boarding door right here, and then a little bit of first class into the economy section. You got the United small titles right here. I think the big ones do look a little bit better, but this was more applicable for a time. Therefore, you can expect us to be using this aircraft right here. Then, of course, you got the emergency exits right there, which also look really good. You got the padding right there, and then on the top side, it is the same again. So I don't know what that is about that, but I'm going to be really eager to hear what that is all about. Then, of course, you got the flap slats and speed brakes like I was referencing previously, and then you got the main landing gear as well, which also look really nice, and I think they did a really good job on those. Here's the tail section as well. Just the tulip just stands out like a sore thumb. Personally, I think that the Battleship Gray does look slightly better, but I just love how big the tulip is on this one, and it is super hard to miss, so really good job. This is also the first time airline really started experimenting with the Euro white scheme, it seems like, in that time frame. So really cool to get to see that, at least in the United States, is what I was trying to get at. So really nice. Got all the engines and the EPU and everything as well. That is really cool. The right side of the aircraft's pretty similar. Again, this R1 position is still really fooling me, but I think it's quite cool. Then you have the baggage door right there, and also this one too. And man, what a cool aircraft. I also really like those indentations on the tail. Those look really nice right there. Top of the aircraft also looks pretty good. Actually, no beacon on this one, so that's surprising. And there's your little dill right there. Again, I don't know what that is, but that's really interesting. So if anybody knows, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. The bottom also looks really good, and we also have another item number. Rather, I should say limited edition unit number of 0652. So right about half. Another fantastic effort right here by JetX. They've done a really good job, and if they find a way to impress me on this next aircraft, which will be my very first DC-10 or DC-910, excuse me, I'm going to be super impressed. And speaking of which, let's just crank this thing out of here right now, not even doing much of an adjustment right here, and let's get started with this aircraft since the box is so small in reference to the size. Beginning right here with the JetX Continental Airlines doubles DC-910. Look at this. So this is a really cool looking aircraft and a very unique one to say the least. So here's a little bit of aviation history for you guys today. So Continental Airlines actually acquired these from the I'm forgetting about the airline right now. Come to mind. It's Texas something. I'm forgetting it. Central Texas, was it? Sorry about that, guys. So the airline was actually Texas International. So Continental Airlines acquired these aircraft from Texas International during the merger that took place in the early 80s, I believe. And Texas International did fly to Tulsa, and then they kept flying. Pretty much what Continental Airlines did for a period of time is they integrated all those assets and then integrated all these planes. So there was this intermission where Continental would fly these to Tulsa, but then it quickly dropped as they would end up going back to more mainly the bigger mainline planes. But this is still a very cool airline. I thought it would be really nice to get this aircraft. Also, definitely expect me to get a Texas International doubles DC-9 of sorts at some point, because I definitely would like to represent that. But for now, we have Continental, and this will be really helpful once again for the early 80s. There won't be a ton of updates for this little guy, but it's still going to be really helpful to have it. And like I said, my very first DC-910 or DC-910. Sorry, that's kind of hard. So nevertheless, here we go. So you got the nose cone on the front of this box, which is really cool. Another JetX logo in a 1/4 scale model, and this one I guess is not a limited edition, so kind of unfortunate. This is your more standard JetX design for the time, but I think this one's looking really nice, and I think we're going to get the big titles on this one as well. Registration November 651 Tango X-ray to indicate the Texas International origin, which is really cool. And this is a nice little box, very small. It's about the size of my palm. So I'm trying to remember the last plane I got that's in a box this size. I thought I got another one like this, but nevertheless, really excited. And this is also must have been a dual release with the previous Continental Airlines livery, which was also really nice. I got to see one at Airlines International, DC-915, that was like in 1/100 scale, and that was super nice. But nevertheless, I'm super excited for this aircraft, and this is going to be a really nice one. So let's dive into all the details right here, everybody, and I'm super excited for this little guy. And he takes up the full box right there, and man, that looks really nice. This is also in the Contrail Reds livery, and I am really excited for this little guy. And man, take a look at that. That's a nice, cute little plane. And here we go with the JetX 1/400 scale Continental Airlines doubles DC-910 in the red Contrails livery. This is a cute little model, and this one's really nice. So really glad to finally get a DC-9 for today's video. And man, this one's really cool. So let's dive into all those details, y'all. Alrighty, everybody, so let's dive into this. So you got the cockpit windows right here in the nose cone. This is a really nice mold from JetX. I think they did a really good job. So thumbs up right there, nose landing gear, and then the L1 boarding door. And then this is probably the most unique mesh of colors I think I've ever seen in my entire life. You have gold, maroon, and orange. What a combination. That is most certainly something I never would have thought would have went as a trial, but man, it's really cool. And one thing that really stands out is it seems like United and Continental really had similar liveries during the time frame. Of course, you have your emblem on the tail and all that. The only major difference is just the branding and everything. Speaking of which, instead of the smaller titles, and one thing that both airlines I believe did, if I'm not mistaken, both airlines had small and big titles, which is really cool. My Continental 720-7200 is a prime example of that, and then the United 737-300 is another one. So it's really cool to think about it like that. Here's my big example now for Continental. I think that looks really nice. So really good job right there. And again, you have your L1 boarding door, the really cool tab right there for the ladder, I believe that is, which is really cool. And then of course you got all your windows. I think maybe a couple on first class right here, and the rest of your economy right here. You have one emergency exit door, which is really nicely represented on that pad right there. And then of course you have the back windows right here. And then the registration November 651 Tango X-ray, which is in a really neat spot right there. Then of course you got that little piece right there. Not exactly sure what that is right here. I'm referencing this one, by the way, so not exactly sure, but that looks really nice. And of course you got your main landing gear, which look really good on this aircraft, the engines right there, and then the tail, which is really cool. This is the main distinguishing factor between the Sol Bass livery and the Contrails livery. The gold goes up into the tail, which I think looks really good. And then of course you have the Contrail meatball style logo right there. That looks really nice with the horizontal stabilizers and the rest of the details. On the right side of the aircraft, you do have a baggage loader door right there. I don't think you have one on the back because of how small this aircraft is. Yes, just the emergency patch. Actually, yes, you do. So it seems like every DC-9 somehow managed to get a luggage door. Top of the aircraft looks really nice. You do have a beacon on that one, and then the bottom also looks really good. No number on this one since this is a normal release, but man, what a plane. This is a really nice looking airplane from JetX, another home run effort right here. And I'm really excited to have this one. So like I was saying, this guy came in from Houston quite a bit, but I think they also sent this in from Dallas for a very short period of time during the merger. And I think there may have been a couple other destinations this guy came in from. So this will have a nice little roll, and I'm really excited to have this one. Again, got a really good deal in it, so I'm very excited to have it. And this is another really cool plane and a very neat one for the fleet as well. Great job by JetX, and I'm very excited to have this one for the collection. Nice job. Alrighty, everybody. Next up, we have another really cool aircraft. Got this one on eBay for, I believe, only $20 on the market. And you guys will probably figure out why I got this one for only $20. This isn't a bad model or anything, but it most certainly isn't a stellar one to say the least. But this is another nice little asset to have for the late 90s into the early 2000s and even into the mid 2000s, I would say, at the Retro Tulsa project. And this will still be a really helpful one. Not a requirement by any means, but like I said, I got a pretty solid deal on it, so I could not pass this one up. I thought it was going to be really helpful. So inside the box, everybody, we have the Dragon Wings 1/400 scale United Airlines Airbus A310 in the battleship gray livery. So this is another really nice aircraft right here. This most certainly is not the best model airplane I've ever seen in my entire life, but this is still a pretty good one, and it will be quite helpful, like I said, for Tulsa. These came in from Denver and Chicago as well, because Houston obviously wasn't there yet for United due to the merger happening in 2012 with Continental Airlines. So this will be really nice, and I'm excited to represent this one. So without any further delay, let's dive into the box. Airbus A310-131, you got the United Airlines with the tulip right there, 1 to 4 inch scale Premier collection, and then here's the picture of the aircraft. United is a registered trademark, and United Airlines Inc. is used under license. I think they're a little bit more flexible during this time frame, so still nice to get to see that though right there. And here's the box. The item number is 55046, and then taking a look at the right side of the box, really nice. I'm not seeing a copyright anywhere on there, or I would reference that, so unfortunate not to see that right there. Top and then the right side as well. 1999, so we're really cranking it back, if you will. And these did start flying as early as 1999, so this would be quite helpful, and I'm really excited to see this aircraft. So let's dive into it and see what this one's all about. And I always flip them over on this side, so I guess the plastic goes in like this for most of these. So let's take a look at this, guys. So a little bit dusty, but not too bad. And then here is the actual aircraft itself, and quite frankly, that is not quite as bad as I anticipated. That's pretty decent. And here we have the Dragon Wings 1 to 400 scale United Airlines Airbus A310 in the battleship gray livery. So I do not recall, I'll be sure to put a screenshot on the screen, but I have no recalling of this not having a main landing gear. In fact, I thought I saw pictures of it with the main landing gear, so I don't know exactly what happened here, but perhaps I could use this for a crash or something. I mean, I'd hate to do that, but I don't know what else I'm going to do with this aircraft. I'm going to try to get main landing gear for it, but nevertheless, this definitely blows to say the least, but we'll do our best with it. But nevertheless, I will say, if it does have to be a model out of this unboxing, this is the one that I would want to be like this. So without any further delay, let's dive into the review, y'all. Alrighty, so beginning right here, you have the cockpit windows and the worldwide services, the L1 boarding door, and the nose landing gear. And then this model isn't like horrible, but just the mold seems really weird. And then the billboard titles are a little disproportionate. I think they're supposed to be a little bit smaller than that. Then the window printing is kind of meh. It's not the best I've ever seen, probably not the worst either. You got your IAE engines, which look really nice in this aircraft. The livery looks really good too. You got the fence tip, which also is pretty nice. Some decent detail here on the wing, but definitely not you know, amazing, but decent for the time. And then of course you got the registration November, I think this is 801 Uniform Alpha, and here's the tulip on the tail. It's still not a horrible plane, just not the best. I thought it would have a main landing gear, so I thought I could get away with this for some variety in the updates, but it's not looking too hot right now, boys, and we'll just have to make it work with something. I could just put something under it and then it can stand up, but still unfortunate. Again, I don't know where that main landing gear is, but nevertheless, still a decent model. Top of the aircraft doesn't even have a beacon, it's that old, and then the bottom does have a stand hole, so that's quite nice. But yeah, that is most certainly not the best aircraft I think I've ever seen in my entire life, but nevertheless, it is what it is, and maybe I could put it on stand or something, but not horrible, but still super glad to have it in a really nice one right here from Dragon Wings. Very nice. Alrighty, everybody, next up we have another really cool aircraft. Now this is not a retro Tulsa model, but I thought this one was really cool, so that's why I did choose to get it. Also, this is my PO box, so that is why that's on there, and that's the date, because it came in but wasn't able to fit in the locker slot, so you have to go up to the counter and let them know that you got a, or let them know that you have packages, and then they'll end up getting your packages for you. So that's what happened with that, if you guys were wondering, with any of the other boxes as well. But nevertheless, I'm really excited for this, and let's dive into this aircraft. Alrighty, everybody, the next plane, this is kind of the oddball for the unboxing in terms of retro projects. It is a heavy aircraft and another Saul Bass aircraft. The United Airlines Boeing 747 SP by NG models. Really excited to have this aircraft. Like I said, this is a little bit of an oddball, but I'm really excited to have this for the collection. And man, this is a really cool looking plane. So without any further delay, let's dive into details. Boeing 747 SP, then you have the CGI right here. Really cool with the tulip. It does have a smaller iteration with the smaller titles, so that's one that you can find and link these up, of course. United, and then you got the registration November 140 Uniform Alpha NG models in the orange, 1 to 4 scale model. And again, really excited to have this one. Now, I think this came out with the Jet flagship aircraft and the Astrojet back in 2021 August or September. So nevertheless, really excited to have this, and this is another fantastic looking plane right here. Really nice one, and I'm very excited to see what this one's all about. So without any further delay, let's see what NG models has cranking with the United 747-100. And a really good looking plane here. Nice, very nice. And next in line right here, we have the United Airlines Boeing 747 SP in the Saul Bass livery by NG models. Really cool aircraft right here. I'm really excited to have this one. Definitely an oddball to say the least, but really cool to expand my heavy fleet for United in the retro department. And this is a really good looking aircraft. So without any further delay, let's dive into this. Alrighty, everybody, so beginning up here with the cockpit windows, you got the little panel right here, and then of course you got the really cool color scheme of the orange, red, And then this seems more of like a purple now that I'm kind of looking at it from this angle. I'm not exactly sure, but this is looking more like purple. So that's looking really nice. Got the nose landing gear right here, which is also looking really good. L1 boarding door and the L2 door as well. Then of course you got the top side. This is really cool, and man, just really stunning plane right here. This is really cool. Got the antenna right here as well, and then you got all your nice wing detail. They did a really good job on this. You can take a look at all the indentations right there. A really nice job. And of course you got the engines right here as well in the wingtip. Those are also really nice. So a very good job right there, and a very nice effort to say the least. This is your full economy right here for United as well. So you got the L3 and L4 door right there, and then the registration November 140 uniform Papa, and the beautiful tail right here as well. This is just a really nice aircraft. They did a really good job, NG that is, of just assessing this and casting the mold and all those fun items. And man, they did a really good job. So just take a look at this full fuselage. You got the baggage doors on this side as well. And man, that's just super nice. Top of the aircraft looks really nice. Got a beacon in the antenna right there, which is really helpful. And the bottom of the aircraft is also very detailed. You got one antenna right here, and then of course you got all those main landing gears, a couple of panels, the beacon, and all those fun items, and another antenna close to the nose landing gear right there. Really nice effort right here from NG Models. This is a fantastic looking plane, and I'm very excited to have this for my retro collection. So let's crank it up a little bit and really get something that's a little bit newer for today's unboxing. Alrighty everybody, next in line we have another really cool model right here from Waffle Collectibles, and I'm really excited for this one, as this one gets me one step closer to completely finishing off my 2000s model Tulsa Airport project. And man, I'm so excited for this. I'm still missing a couple of small planes, but this one really helps out, especially for the early 2000s, as this was a very prominent part, as you guys will see in just a moment. And here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Embraer J-145 in the 8800 something livery. I'm not exactly sure what this is. It might be the 800th Embraer 145 or something. But nevertheless, I'm really excited to have this aircraft. So Tulsa flew to Dallas Fort Worth for Delta for quite some time. That was a really cool route. I think they had it from the early 90s into the peak of the hub, and before they ended the route around 2004, 2005. So this is going to be a really helpful aircraft just for that one service, and I'm really excited for it. And while they did operate some ATR 72 on it, and also the Embraer J-120s, this will be very prominent, as I was planning to make a shapeways model, and it was actually an Embraer 135 they used predominantly, but nevertheless, actual die-cast model airplane would be very helpful for this, and that is exactly what we have right here, and I got a really good deal on it, so I'm very excited for this. GeminiJets with the Delta tiles right here. Here's the CGI of the aircraft with the Embraer J-145, made for collectors by collectors, and then here's the full box right here. Again, pretty standard for the time, and a really nice box here right here, to say the very least. Really nice. This aircraft is actually from 2005, so this is a little past that time, but nevertheless, Delta ended up relocating these, and then eventually ended up, I think they ended up passing them on to different subsidiaries. I don't think they got completely retired, so that's quite nice. And of course, here you got the pamphlet right here, which is really nice, and another really tan box right there, but that's still looking good, so I'm excited for this, and it's going to look really good. Also, you do have the do not push down paper in here, so I'll show you guys that if you haven't seen it before. Actually, never mind, excuse me, that is incorrect. We actually have a Waffle Collectibles, I'm forgetting what you call these, just normal information card, which, if I recall correctly, I got several of these with some models I got back in 2017 and 18, so perhaps this one was way back in the warehouse, and he was just put it in there and never got a chance to sell it yet, so maybe there's a little bit of a mystery for your Seriously theory on Waffle Collectibles for today, but nevertheless, I'm really excited for this, and it's going to be quite awesome, so let's see what this one's looking like. Oh yeah, boys, this is looking quite nice. Really nice effort right there. And here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Connection Embraer J-145 in some sort of 800 delivery. I'm not exactly sure what this means, but nevertheless, I'm really excited for this, and this is going to be quite a nice model. So let's dive into the details. Alrighty everybody, so you got the cockpit windows and the nose landing gear right here that look really nice. Not exactly sure what subsidiary operated this aircraft during the time, so I'll try to put a picture up on the screen or let you guys know through a subtitle, but looking really good. Got the L1 boarding door right here. Then you got the Delta Connection titles, and even though this isn't a completely normal livery, it is quite nice, and I really like this 800th. Again, I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I do find it kind of fascinating how GeminiJets chose not to do the normal livery, but rather do the special one. But nevertheless, I'm still glad that they chose to do an Embraer 145. Got the emergency exit patch right there, and then the wings with the main landing gear and the flaps, slats, and speed brakes. So pretty simple stuff, but looking quite nice. Registration's November 586 Romeo Papa, I believe, looking really good right there. Got your engines, the CE or GE or something like that, forgetting what they are off the top of my head. And the really nice colors in motion, wavy gravy tail right here. So you got the light blue, the dark blue, excuse me, and the red. Personally, I really like this aircraft, and this is going to be really helpful for that Dallas service. So expect this in about 5 or 6 retro Tulsa updates. This is going to be really nice, and I'm very glad to have this one. Top of the aircraft also looks really nice with the beacon right there. Since it's so small, I won't even zoom out. And the bottom looks really good with the GeminiJets logo and all the rest of the applicable details. So another really good job right here from GeminiJets. This is another fantastic looking plane, and I'm really excited to have this one, and we have one final model to really finish out today's video, and I hope you guys are excited for that. Alrighty everybody, our final aircraft of today is a really special one. I'm super excited to get this aircraft, and this is going to be really helpful. Man, I am so excited for this, and I really hope you guys are as well. Alrighty everybody, here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale American Airlines Boeing 727-200 in the chrome livery. Really excited for this to be our last aircraft of today, as man, this is such a good one, and I am so excited to have this. So this flew to Tulsa for decades, literally. I'm not even kidding. It flew from the 70s, like literally the early 70s, all the way up until they got retired in the early 2000s, and I am so excited to have this aircraft. This is going to be very applicable for the Retro Tulsa project, and this is going to be a fantastic way to finish out today's video. So here we go, everybody. Got the American Airlines titles right here, 1:400 scale, CGI, or actual model picture, I should say, Boeing 727-200, real metal, GeminiJets, American Airlines logo, made for collectors by collectors, and man, this is so exciting. I am so glad to have this aircraft, and this one looks really, really good. Man, registration November 718 Alpha Alpha, and this is going to be such a nice aircraft right here. I am really excited to dive into the details. This is a 2000 release. Here is the pamphlet right here, and wow, that's quite interesting to see that 100 sticker. So this must have been what this guy got it from Waffle. I personally got it for $80, which was a little overpaid, I would say, but not too bad. There's the pamphlet and the aircraft itself. Really, really excited for this, and let's take a look at the details, everybody. All right, yes sir, man, you're gonna be seeing this in many updates, boys, so get ready for this thing. I am so happy to have the American 727 from Gemini. That is gorgeous. Yes sir. And here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale American Airlines Boeing 727-200 in the chrome livery. So excited to have this aircraft. This is such a nice one, and man, what an aircraft this is. Like I said, this flew to Tulsa from literally everywhere. Dallas, Chicago, Los Angeles, you name it. This aircraft flew it, and I am so excited to have this. Like I said, this is going to be a very prominent part in a backhand, or I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm not even going to cut that one out. Backhand, back cornerstone, whatever you want to say. Backbone, I think is what I was looking for, of the Retro Tulsa project. Man, I am so excited for this. Take a look at that lighting. That is absolutely awesome. And let's take a look at this stunner. Beginning up here at the front, you got the cockpit windows, then the, of course, very unique design of the blue, white, and red right here, and double chrome on both sides of that. You got the L1 boarding door and the nose landing gear, and then of course you got the first class area right here with the American Airlines billboard titles. This never gets old, guys, and this is absolutely awesome right here. Then you got your economy section looking really nice, some sort of panel right there. Then of course you got your emergency exits way down here in economy. This thing seats like 160, I think, so very prominent at the time. Got the emergency exits right there, which are really nice. Then of course you got the wing with the flaps, slats, and detail, and speed brake detail. Then you got the main landing gear. Those look really good. The GeminiJets logo down there. And then here's the L2 boarding door, or not boarding door, but just L2 door, I should say. Then you got the aircraft right here with the registration of November 718 Alpha Alpha. Really nice tail number right there with all three engines. And then this very interesting cutouts. I guess they've been doing that for quite some time on American Airlines planes, which is pretty interesting. The American Airlines tail, which is a very unique design. I think it looks really cool. Got all that panel detail in the tail as well. Man, this is such a cool looking one with the horizontal stabilizers and the APU as well. Right to the aircraft's also very similar. Of course, you got the luggage door right here as well, which looks really nice, and that one as well. Top of the aircraft looks really nice right here, as you can see, with the beacon and everything in the emergency exits. And this one has that weird detail too. It's a little differently outlined, but again, I'm really eager to hear what this is, so please let me know if you guys haven't already in the comments. Then of course you got the underside. No stand hole in this model, which is pretty interesting. I thought they would have had one. This is one of the very few GeminiJets models I have that does not have a stand hole. That's really interesting. Got the Gemini logo in the gear up position on door, and of course the back position as well right there. This is awesome. Really glad to have this aircraft. This is a super nice one, and man, what a way to round out our unboxing today. What a nice model, and let's take a look at all of these. Man, what an assortment of aircraft we have right here, guys. What an unboxing this was. This was 727 heaven, and let's just take a look at all of these one more time in detail. Really excited to use all these, and this will be quite helpful. So beginning with that Delta Ember 145, this is a really cool aircraft, and this will be very helpful for a variety of reasons. So I'm really excited to have that, and that'll be great for that Dallas service. We have the Continental Airlines Doubles DC-910, a really cute little model, and this will be very nice to kind of get that transition from the Texas International days. Really excited to have that. This United A310, I really don't know what to say about this. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be going on with that, so I'll be sure to follow you guys up on that, but that's still a pretty good model, I would say. Very nice one right there. And then 727 heaven begins, so let's just run through these, man. You have the United Boeing 727-100 in the blue tulip livery, really helpful for both those destinations in Chicago and Denver, and that is a really cool airplane. Then of course you got the Braniff International Boeing 727-100 in the flying colors green livery. I really like the green on that one, and that's quite a unique airplane to say the least, so I'm glad to have that. That TWA 727-100 is really nice as well, and I'm really glad to have that one. That one is really good in reference to the design, so really nice effort right there. We have the Braniff International Boeing 727-100. This is also another fantastic looking plane. I really like the blue in this one, and most certainly expect this in many retro TU updates, among others. The United Boeing 727-200 in the battleship gray livery is also going to be very helpful for a variety of reasons, and I'm really glad to have this one. These are my two favorites right here. Just pair these two up. Gee, that just screams right there, USA Aviation. That is awesome right there. The Braniff International is right there in the corner, but of course you get the United Boeing 727-200 and the American 727-200. What more can I say about that? That is a stunner, and man, I am so glad to have that. That is absolutely awesome. Along with that, we got the United 747 SP for an oddball for this video. Really glad to have that one too, and that's a really cool one. And more Saul Bass planes, the more the merrier. And last but certainly not least, we have the FedEx Express Airbus A310 freighter, excuse me. That is another fantastic looking plane, and I'm really glad to have that one for my collection. What a stunning unboxing, and I thoroughly hope you guys enjoyed this. This was such a cool one, and man, what more can I say? Fantastic looking set right here, and this is a fantastic assortment of airplanes. Be sure to let me know in the comment section which one your guys' favorite was, and also be sure to let me know how excited you guys are for the Retro Tulsa Airport project. The announcement video will be coming soon, and then hopefully getting into 2023, we'll be starting to see our first updates after the history video, of course, as I'll explain more in that video, so be sure to stay on the lookout for it. What a fantastic unboxing. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you guys so much for watching. Really cool unboxing, and this was a really good one to say the least. So with all that being said, that will do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.